Shabbat Shalom. Our scripture reading for today is Revelation chapter 19, verses 7 through 9. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife has made herself ready. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of saints. And he said unto me, Write, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he said unto me, These are the true sayings of Elohim.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Our selection today, trying to get ready.
Trying to get ready, trying to get ready, I'm trying to get I'm trying to get ready. Oh my, ready to try on my long wide road. Ready to try on my long wide road. Ready to try on my long wide road. Make me ready to try on my long wide road.
The oracles of the UCI. 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober and watch unto prayer. And above all things have fervent love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received a gift, even so minister the same one to another, as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim gives, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through Yahshua the Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 29 through chapter 5 and verse 4. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby you are sealed until the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be you kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim for Yahshua's sake has forgiven you. Be you therefore followers of Elohim, as their children, and walk in love, as the Mashiach also have loved us, and has given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor. But fornication, and all uncleanness, or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becomes saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim. For Elohim is in heaven, and you upon earth, therefore let your words be few. Exodus chapter 23, verses 20 and 21. Behold, I send an angel before you, to keep you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Revelations chapter 3, verses 20 through 22. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I have also overcame and am sat down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches.
All right. The vision of Obadiah. Thus says the Adonai Elohim concerning Edom. For your violence against your brother Yaakov, shame shall cover you, and you shall be cut off forever. In the day that you stood on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even you was as one of them. But you should not have looked on the day of your brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither should you have rejoiced over the children of Yehuda in the day of their destruction. Neither should you have spoken proudly in the day of distress. You should not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, you should not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither should you have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither should you have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As you have done, it shall be done unto you. Your reward shall return upon your own head. For as you have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
And welcome to another holy convocation that Yahweh has enjoined unto us here in this body of Yahshua. Today's sermon is entitled, The Controversy of Zion. It is written that they will have to answer for all of the hard speeches that they have spoken. It's easy for the nations to say disrespectful things when it comes down to the children of Israel, because their power has not been shown unto the world. It says that even when it was said about Satan, it said, they didn't say a whole lot of things. He said, hey, the Adonai rebuke you. He didn't go into a whole lot of things. When it came down to dealing with Saul, King David said, I'm not going to put my hand on Yahweh's anointing. Even though he's trying to kill me, I'm not going to put my hands on it. What'd he do? He respected the anointing. He understood where his boundary was. See, oftentimes we forget that there are boundaries, and you need to understand that you can cross a boundary and get dealt with real quick. Let's begin today's sermon in Deuteronomy chapter 17. Deuteronomy chapter 17, and we're going to read verses 1 through 13. There is a large controversy concerning Zion. See, there's the controversy concerning the people, and then there's the controversy concerning the land. Deuteronomy chapter 17, and let's start that at verse 1.
You shall not sacrifice unto Yahweh your Elohim any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish, or any evil favoredness, for that is an abomination unto Yahweh your Elohim.
Right, any work that we're doing. When we look at this, we sacrifice our time unto Yahweh. When we're doing some work, we're sacrificing our skill unto Yahweh. If there's any evil favoredness in that we either do it with a slack hand or we do it in a way that there's some evil in it, we're going to have to answer for that. We have to understand that we're dealing with an Elohim who knows what he gave each and every last one of us. He knows when we're doing our best and when we're just showing up. We may be able to present what we offer as the best to the individual who's standing next to us, but you can't present that to your Elohim. He know what your best is. He know what you just did yesterday from 9 to 5. So when you come and offer him something else, he know that's evil favoredness in that. You mean to tell me you could take all of this from 9 to 5, and the first thing that is said to you, you in the car on the way home? Wait a minute, why you ain't leave the job? You ain't leave the job when they said something you ain't like? Go ahead.
Verse 2. If there be found among you, within any of your gates which Yahweh your Elohim gives you, man or woman, that has wrought wickedness in the sight of Yahweh your Elohim, in transgressing his covenant, and has gone and served other gods, and worshipped them, either the sun or moon or any of the host of heaven, which I have not commanded, and it be told you, and you have heard of it, and inquired diligently.
Now you have to do some work. It was told you, you heard of it, and you inquired diligently. Go ahead.
And behold, it be true, and the thing certain, that such abomination is wrought in Israel. Then shall you bring forth that man or that woman, which have committed that wicked thing.
Now this is controversy now. This is controversy. A lot of us want to have jobs that don't involve any controversy. We want to do a job where we just kind of get left alone. We can leave people alone. Don't nobody have to say nothing to us. And we don't have to say nothing to nobody. We say, all right, this is a perfect job. I want to work in between those two trees in the back. And that long as the left tree don't say nothing to the right tree, we good. Go ahead.
That sounds like everybody's week.
Okay. I'll hear about it later, I guess.
Onto your gates, even that man or that woman, and shall stone them with stones till they die. At the mouth of 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death. But at the mouth of 1 witness he shall not be put to death.
Let me tell you something. We get into the witness and we keep thinking that needs to be separate individuals. No, it's instances. Where you have one instance, this happened in January. Another instance, this happened in March. Another instance, this happened in October. Hey, I got 3 witnesses. Now, all of the witnesses just so happen to be you. You have witnessed against yourself. You have done this 3 times. I don't need 3 people. Go ahead.
The hands of the witnesses shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterward the hands of all the people. So you shall put evil away from among you.
And when you look at a situation, when you're dealing with the spiritual side of it, because we're not putting anybody to death, what you're doing is putting them on the other side of that door. And you're going to watch the situation happen over and over and over again, because you know Jake's slick. Jake will look around before he do some dirt. And make sure there ain't no 2 witnesses. Go ahead.
If there arise a matter too hard for you in judgment, between blood and blood, between plea and plea, and between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within your gates, then shall you arise and get you into the place which Yahweh your Elohim shall choose.
Right. So these individuals he has raised up for controversy. These individuals have been in the midst of controversy since day one, and they feel bad. They're like, well, I always got to be in the middle of some mess. Every time I turn around, there's mess everywhere. Right. Because you was raised for controversy. See, this job is their job. They have tried to work these things out everywhere else, and they can't. So now they got to deal with the people who was born for controversy. They want to live a simple life. They want to live a happy life. But they get up in the morning and, who is it? Controversy? Damn, I'm on vacation. How you even get this room number? I thought it was room service. I didn't. Right. They was born for that. Go ahead.
And you shall come unto the priests, the Levites, and unto the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall show you the sentence of judgment.
Now, you might not like the sentence that they show you now, because since they were raised for controversy, since they was born for controversy, they're not born to make you feel good. They was born and bred and raised to take care of situations. Now, it might not seem very smooth to you, but the situation gonna get handled. He didn't send them through sensitivity training first and then controversy later. No. He went controversy first and then just a hint of sensitivity. I mean, just a hint of, just a sprinkle, a do dabble. You can't even measure it with a spoon. Okay, go ahead.
And you shall do according to the sentence which they of that place which Yahweh shall choose shall show you. And you shall observe to do according to all that they inform you, according to the sentence of the law which they shall teach you, and according to the judgment which they shall tell you. You shall do. You shall not decline from the sentence which they shall show you to the right hand nor to the left. And the man that will do presumptuously and will not hearken unto the priest that stands to minister there before Yahweh your Elohim, or unto the judge, even that man shall die, and you shall put away the evil from Israel.
Right. And you have natural death and you have spiritual death. There's a whole lot of Walking Dead. I know y'all watch the show. No, there's a whole lot of spiritual Walking Dead. Don't think that somebody has to physically die for them to die to Yahweh. He'll let them walk off in purely good health and never set his eyes upon them again. To him, they did. Go ahead.
You know, Elder, when you think about some of those old movies, especially those mafia movies, when they get in the situation and they'll be, what about so-and-so? He's dead to me.
Yeah.
You never speaking to him no more.
No, we ain't going to speak about him. We ain't going to speak to him. We're not going to deal with that. Now, they still living. But there will never be any dealings between us and that individual ever again. See, Yahweh disciplined his children. He ain't coming out his house, going down the street, and whoop them people, kids down there. No, he ain't doing that to make his kids. He clearly says, I discipline mine. Go ahead.
Verse 13, and all the people shall hear and fear, and do no more presumptuously.
Now, we don't understand to be disciplined by Yahweh means to be loved by Yahweh. See? So the very thing that we think ends up looking like that Yahweh doesn't care is Yahweh showing how much he does care. But see, the nations have told us how to look at love. The nations told us that Disney Channel shows you what love is. Go do some research. Every last one of them kids done been molested. Half of them on drugs, the other half trying to kill themselves. But nonetheless, we have still formed our idea of love based on the same kids who now grown and can't stay off dope. And they got everything in the world that you can imagine. Cars, houses, financial portfolio, and hate life. Yet we have based love on the portrayal of their movies. That absolute evil thing was happening unto them while they were portraying the false display. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 19. And I want to read verses 15 through 21.
Verse 15. One witness shall not rise up against a man for any lawlessness or for any sin, in any sin that he sins. At the mouth of 2 witnesses or at the mouth of 3 witnesses shall the matter be established. If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong.
Now, you have to be careful because you can accidentally be a false witness. See, you can be a false witness thinking that you understand what's going on and you have presented some things. Consider something. Didn't they call the people who said all of those things about Yahshua false witnesses? It says, and another false witness came. This man said he was going to destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days. Well, look, he did say that. How were they false witness? See, they thought they understood what they thought they understood. But because they didn't understand the level of which and how he was speaking, they felt like they were correct, but they felt wrong. And they were false witnesses, even though they were saying what they thought to be true. They were saying what they heard, and they thought they were being truthful. But because they didn't understand what they thought they understood, they were liars. They were false witnesses. Be careful when you think you know what you know. Go ahead, say it with your chest. But you might lose half of that very chest that you spoke it with. Go ahead.
Then both the men, between whom the controversy is, shall stand before Yahweh, before the priests and the judges which shall be in those days.
Wait a minute. He's standing before Yahweh, before the priests and the judges. He's standing before Yahweh, but don't think the cloud gonna show up. Hold on. Wait a minute. There's somebody standing in Yahweh's stead there. Okay? See, we kind of forget. It says I've sent an angel before you. All right? It says I don't provoke him, right? It says obey his voice. Okay, wait a minute. When we light that oil and those incense and we invite the angel that stands at the door and come in and sup with us. Wait a minute. When do you hear his voice? You may hear his voice coming out of that brother over there on the right. Would you recognize that it was his voice? You recognize his voice by the word, not by the individual who talking. So when the angel directs you after we have invited him, do you think you are having a conversation with an individual? Right. Go ahead.
And the judges shall make diligent inquisition. And behold, if the witness be a false witness and has testified falsely against his brother, then shall you do unto him as he had thought to have done unto his brother.
Now, this is the thing that we don't want to deal with, because now we're talking about dealing with intent. And we can hide intent unto others. You can never hide intent unto Yahweh. Yahweh know what you were thinking, where you were standing when you were thinking it, what you was intending when you was thinking it. He know what you had on. He know why you wore the blue shirt instead of the red one. You ain't gonna fool him about your intentions. See, we can display whatever we want to display unto men. But Yahweh is such a just Elohim, he will not expose you unto men and still deal with your intentions. See, Yahweh can give you a private whooping. Or you can keep acting, and he can go ahead and give you that public one. Which one you want? Hey? Why a street poet always said, tell me how you want it. He'll give it to you how you want it. Go ahead. You can have a private one, or you can have a public one. How you want it. But in no way, shape, fashion, or form is he confused about our intentions. I don't care how many times we say left or right. I don't care how many times. I don't care how far we go to disguise the intentions. He is never misled about them. Thus showing his grace towards us. Go ahead.
You know, Elder, you mentioned the two false witnesses against Yahshua and their thought process, right?
Uh-huh.
And it says whatever you thought to be done to that person is what's going to be done unto you.
Uh-huh.
We don't know what the outcome of those two people were.
Hey, bro. We really have to consider, what is happening, because you can be overcome with emotion and believe that you are just and right at that moment, only to find out It may be months later before you find out all of that was a lie. Now what you gonna do? Now, what have you uttered while you were in the midst of your emotion? See, we get in our feelings, you know, the man feelings, and a whole lot of stuff may be said. Okay. Now, you felt justified and right at that moment. Now, when the entire thing is revealed and you realize that you was off, now you got to think back. What was your intention when you said it? Now, that might have been 10 months ago. Don't worry. He remembers. Go ahead.
You know, we always think about false witnesses, what we say. In this day and age, it's so easy to be a false witness without even realizing you're a false witness, because we'll read something and repost it.
Yep.
You know,
you got it.
I've posted stuff and retracted it because my wife said, hey, did you research that?
Right.
You realize that was a farce?
And the person who told you lied or they didn't check it, and then you reposted it and you didn't check it, and then somebody else reposted it, and it was a whole lot of unchecking. But what was the first thing? It says diligent inquiry. Mm-hmm. You know how we get diligent? Oh, I trust James. There we go. That is the extent of our diligent inquiry. Go ahead.
And those which remain shall hear and fear, and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you.
Uh-huh.
And your eyes shall not pity.
Your eye shall not pity. This is the hardest. See, it's different when you're raised up for controversy. See, you get to that point, and then we want to show mercy and grace. Yahweh, all that, that's beautiful. Not right now. See, Yahweh has a big bowl of grace and mercy over there. But when it's time to deal with that controversy, I need you to leave grace and mercy over there. Because you better not pity, not one bit, when it's time to take care of this business. Because if you don't, the business keeps happening. And we keep trying to avoid the uncomfortable situation. No, you got to deal with that uncomfortable situation head on so that it is understood. Don't bring that. Those are matters of controversy. Everybody can't stand in that place. See, sometimes we want the job, and then the controversy get too hot, and we ready to resign. Go ahead.
But life shall go for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot.
All right. I shall not pity, but life shall go for life. Wait a minute. If life shall go for eye, life go for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. Hey, it's whatever you had intended. And sometimes we don't think that intention is powerful. Understand something? Dawid didn't build a house. He just intended to. Now he has a forever covenant with Yahweh for a house he never built. He just intended on building it. So you don't think intent is powerful? Then you ain't reading this book. Let's go to Romans chapter 9. Imagine having a forever covenant. Every last one of your seeds are born into this covenant for something that you just intended on doing. Hell, I intended on taking out the trash. Hell, I didn't. I didn't do it. I intended on fixing that toilet downstairs. But I ain't did it. Romans chapter 9, let's start there at verse 1.
I say the truth in Yahshua, I lie not, my conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Yahshua for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertains the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of Elohim and the promises.
In other words, all authority was given unto Israel. See, you can't stand in matters of controversy without authority. Go ahead.
Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Yahshua came, who is over all, Elohim blessed forever. Amen. Not as though the word of Elohim has taken non effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Esau shall your seed be called. This is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of Elohim, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Esau, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Elohim according to the election might stand, not of works, but of him that calls. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
And we want to go with the whole part of what we used to hear on Sunday morning, God is love. So we just want to stay there. So when we get to our writings where it says, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated, now we have a schism with Elohim because we don't think that he has the right or the ability to hate. Now, he's an Elohim, and he's omnipotent, he's omnipresent, he's all-seeing, he's all-knowing, he can create all things, but somehow he only has the ability to love. Go ahead.
What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Elohim? Elohim forbid. For he says to Moshe, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
Right. I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy. You don't get to dictate that. You ain't got no input in that. He had mercy on who he want to have mercy on. When it was time for Saul to walk in this walk, hey, they had straight testimony against him. Hey, look here, Yahshua. Hey, your boy here. Hey, your boy dog. Your boy done had a couple of us scourged and hurt. This ain't the dude to deal with. Hey, do your job and go your way. I got a purpose for him. He had mercy on who he had mercy on. You might look and this one person did one act and Yahweh said, oh no, get them out of here. And you look at somebody else and they done committed 35, 40 acts. And he's a man. They need to get rid of that dude. And Yahweh says, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy. Now I got a job for him. He's like, wait a minute. What? Why you let him do that? Because I got a job for him. See, and the job I got for him, it ain't going to be pretty. And all this stuff right here that he doing, he just qualifying himself to get in that job. That's what he doing. He just getting deeper in the muck. So don't you worry about what I got going on with him. You just take care of your business over here. Don't you worry about what's going on over here. So I got a job for him. Go ahead.
So then it is not of him that wills, nor of him that runs, but of Elohim that shows mercy. For the scripture says unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised you up, that I may show my power in you.
Right. Yahweh will allow some things to come in. Allow them to be presented so that everybody can look and make their decision on what they think they're looking at. Then he'll show what it really is. Why? He raised it up so he can show his purpose in it. And that way you can see where your thought process is either on or off. Go ahead.
And that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore has he mercy on whom he will have mercy. And whom he will, he hardens.
Right. See, some he hardens. They can't get to a situation where they have been at fault and then get to a point of receiving grace and mercy. They get hardened. Go ahead.
You will say then unto me, why does he yet find fault? For who has resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who are you that repliest against Elohim?
Right, and we don't think we're doing that. See, when the word says one thing, but then we take another position, we're just replying against Elohim. We think, you know what I'm saying? Well, no, Yahweh, you don't understand. That's like going to the dealership that made the car and telling them, so y'all don't understand how their transmission works. Bro, you know we built the transmission, right? You do know we built it, right? you telling us that we don't understand the thing we built. Bro, I can bust this thing open and tell you what every wheel on this does, but you gonna tell me that I don't understand how this works? Right. Go ahead.
Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why have you made me thus?
Right. Shall the transmission go to Ford and say, why you made me shift at 55? Okay, go ahead.
Has not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? What if Elohim, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory, even us, whom he has called, not of the Yehudims only, but also of the Gentiles. As he says also in OC, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, you are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living El. Esaias also cries concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. For he will finish the work and cut it short in the righteousness. Because a short work will the Adonai make upon the earth. And as Isaiah said before, except the Adonai of Sabbath had left us a seed, we had been as Sodoma and been made like unto Gomorrah.
All right. Now, one of the things I want us to focus on here is Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Now, we have a tendency to look at love and hate in a very different way because our views of love and hate have been based on the images that have been presented unto us. See, a lot of times we don't even understand that as we're receiving these images, we're receiving direction. I sit and I watch commercials that come on in between programs, and you watch what they are displaying. The only people who are in relationships in the commercial are interracial couples. In the same commercial, they will show one black woman by herself. They are subconsciously saying, unless you marry like this, you're going to be alone. Now, what's happening as you're receiving these images? See, what is happening? Then you watch some derogatory commercial and you'll find that 85% of the people in that commercial black. What is happening as you're receiving those images? Proverbs 13 and verse 24 says, because we are thinking about love and hate. It says, he that spares his rod hateth his son, but he that loves him chastens him betimes or often. Okay, so what is the difference between? It says, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. All right, let's go to Matthew chapter 4. Because we have a view of what this love might look like and what hate may look like. Matthew chapter 4, and I want you to read verses 8 through 11.
Again, the devil takes him up into an exceeding high mountain and shows him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them.
All right, everything nice. Everything that you can possibly attain. Go ahead.
And says unto him, all these things will I give you, if you will fall down and worship me.
All these things will I give you. He has the ability. The adversary, the devil, says that he has the ability to give all of these things. Go ahead.
Then says Yahshua unto him, get you hence, Satan, for it is written, you shall worship the Adonai your Elohim, and him only shall you serve. Then the devil leaves him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him.
Okay, now, here's the $1 million question. If Jacob he loved, and his word says, he that spares his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chastens him often. But Esau have he hated, then Esau not going to get disciplined for any of the things that he does. We think that's love. That's hate. He said, I hate him. I'm not disciplining him. We don't know the difference between love and hate. The Disney Channel got us all upside down and backwards. Show me where Esau is getting disciplined for anything that he's done, which is only going to make his judgment horrendous. But right now, he look like he winning. Why? Because Yahweh not dealing with him. He's not chastening him. And we think that's blessing. That's hatred. Yahweh said, I hate him. I'm not dealing with him. Yeah, but Yahweh, he just set the building on fire. I know. I'm not dealing with that. You, on the other hand, at the store, bought the gas. Come off the curb and break your ankle with the gas in one hand. Didn't get a chance to even buy the matches. What happened? He loves you. He loves you. But you at the doctor, though. You know what I'm saying? You ain't feeling loved right now. But guess what you don't have? That arson on your judgment. See, you don't know what love looked like. When love is looking you right in the face, you don't know what it looked like. Go ahead, bro.
You know, Elder, and the less chastisement that happens or no chastisement that happens, you become more and more of a worse and worse individual. And eventually you realize people start pulling themselves away.
Exactly. Exactly. They realize that this is an uncontrollable situation. The only way to control this is to get away from it. So if there is no chastisement, there is no molding. There is no shaping. You're just pretty much letting it do whatever it does. Just put the clay on there and just turn the thing on and just let it spin. And then whatever it forms, and that's what it is. He said, this is a Picasso. Nah, that's a piece of crap. That's what that is. Go ahead, brother. We finished that?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to James chapter 4. James chapter 4, and let's read verses 1 through 7.
From whence comes wars and fightings among you? Come they not hence, even of your lusts that war in your members? You lust and have not. You kill and desire to have and cannot obtain.
Now, we're not going to admit about them things that we lusting over, those things that we desire to obtain. We're not going to be honest about that out loud. But remember, he knows our intentions. Go ahead.
You fight and war, yet you have not, because you ask not. You ask and receive not, because you asked amiss, that you may consume it upon your lust. You adulterers and adulteresses, know you not that the friendship of the world is enmity with Elohim?
Wait a minute. We have a line that has been drawn. Friendship of the world is enmity, meaning it is an adversary with Elohim. And every time we get off in some mess, we were trying to be friendly with somebody who don't know what friendship is. We trying to show favoritism to some false entity, somebody who has pretended to be something, and we gave them all the favor. And didn't know that we was making ourselves enmity with Elohim. Why? Because he said, no. My true servants is over there, and I'm watching how you deal with them. But you sure been nice to these over here. Those not my people. But I sure watch how you do when you do what you do. Okay, go ahead.
Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of Elohim. Do you think that the scripture says in vain, the spirit that dwells in us lusts to envy? But he gives more grace. Wherefore he says, Elohim resisted the proud, but gives grace unto the humble. Submit yourselves therefore to Elohim. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
Right, the devil didn't just leave Yahshua. When he resisted, the devil left. See, the devil just don't get tired. You know, man, I've been slamming the dude on the head all day. You know what? I'm tired. No, every time if he worked that one move and he keep working, he gonna slam you for the next 52 years, right on that same part of your head. They're like, he ain't figured out how to defend himself. I don't need to be trying another move. This one's working. It's been working for 52 years. Why change? It's working. Let's go to Psalms chapter 34. You ever seen a team get tired of making touchdowns? We're just tired. Every time we hike the ball, it's like we just walk right in the end zone. I'm just tired of it. Let us start throwing it. Why? Clearly they ain't figured out how to tackle. Psalm 34, and we're going to read verses 1 through 22.
Verse 1. I'll bless Yahweh at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make her boast in Yahweh. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. Oh, magnify Yahweh with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought Yahweh, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears. They looked on to me, and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. This poor man cried, and Yahweh heard him, and saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of Yahweh encamped round about them that fear him, and delivers them.
Right. Those that are without turmoil don't have a reason to call on Yahweh. All right. So when he hate them, he leave them alone. They don't call him, he don't call them, they good. There's some relationships you want them to stay just like they are. You see somebody, you ain't seen them in 10 years, and they like, man, what's your new number? What? Your new number, bro, I ain't seen you in so long, man, I want to hang out with you. What's your new number? Nah. Nah. Call it. Make sure you put the 770 more. Look at now, bro, don't call me. Don't call me. Now, I like our relationship just the way it is. Everything has been going perfect. I ain't talked to you. You ain't talked to me. We ain't talked to each other. This is perfect. Let's keep it going. Yahweh had the same situation with those that he disliked. No. You not comfortable? Here go a few extra dollars. Don't call me. They think they being blessed. He said, here goes some more money. Don't call me. You know what? You need a better car. Because I want you to get the hell on faster. Don't call me. Right. But they swear they being blessed. Right. Right. Go ahead.
O taste and see that Yahweh is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. O fear Yahweh, you his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but they that seek Yahweh shall not want any good thing.
Now, what do you call good? What you calling good? What's good to you? Now, ask yourself, is that same thing that you call good also good to Elohim? Where did you get your definition of good from? Who gave you the image and likeness of good? Where did you get it from? Okay, go ahead.
Come, you children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of Yahweh. What man is he that desires life and loves many days, that he may see good? Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking guile.
How do you know when your tongue done spoke evil and your lip done uttered guile? Because it might have sounded good to you when you heard it within yourself. You know, there's certain things that you like, you know, I pictured that going differently inside my mind. Wait a minute. Some guile sound good at first. But then once you figure out all the particulars, you realize, oh man, that what I thought was good was actually foul. And that what I thought was foul was actually true-hearted goodness. Okay, go ahead.
Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of Yahweh are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry.
Wait a minute. You make the wrong person cry, you might be in trouble. Hey, I know I ain't the only one that made somebody cry and wrecked 3 of their cars in the same day. I ain't the only one. That when you realize, I probably shouldn't have made her cry. Today wasn't my day. Today just wasn't my day. Now I can't speak for tomorrow, but I can tell you about that day right there. That was probably not a day. That was probably not a good day. And do they have to cry to Yahweh? Moshe didn't say nothing to Yahweh when hey, come out you three. Come out. What they got to do with me? I ain't got no weapon. I ain't said nothing to nobody. What I'm coming out? Because you the one they were talking about. Once again, Yahweh, what they got to do with me? They talking about me, not to me. I ain't got nothing to do with this. Boy, come out. Because I'm going to deal with them in your presence. They're going to learn to keep their mouth closed when it comes to you. And this how they going to learn. This how they going to learn. They're going to run off at the mouth about you. And I'm going to do something to them. And I'm going to let them know that I'm doing something to them. They're going to know next time. You know what? Note to self. Leave him the hell alone. Got it. Put a period. Done deal. Go ahead.
The face of Yahweh is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. The righteous cry, and Yahweh hears and delivers them out of all their troubles.
The righteous cry and Yahweh hears. Wait a minute. He's interacting with them. They're having, through their troubles, they are getting to know their Elohim. He is knowing them. He is revealing parts of himself to them. They have a relationship. The other people got their money, they gone down the street, they gone. Their life is peaceful, they doing whatever they needed to do. Fine. Yahweh don't want to have a conversation with them, and he keeps giving them stuff so they can stay over there. But he have an interaction with these people right here. Right. Go ahead.
Yahweh is near unto them that are of a broken heart, and save such as be of a contrite spirit.
Why? Those can hear him. See? When he keep giving them people something, they ain't trying to hear him. Look, I would like for you to get deeper. And they wouldn't need to get deeper, folks. I'm hopping my spaceship and I'm finna get the hell on out of here. Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead.
Many are the afflictions of the righteous.
Wait a minute. Read that again.
Many are the afflictions of the righteous. But Yahweh delivers him out of them all.
Wait a minute. That means in each one of those instances, here come your Elohim. Another instances come, here come your Elohim. Wait a minute. He's shaping and forming you. He got you on the wheel. The potter is forming the clay. That might not feel like love and blessing to you. But you're utterly loved. And you're deeply blessed. And you don't even know it. You want to be like the people he done left alone. Silly Negroes. Go ahead, Ray Brown.
He keeps all his bones, not one of them is broken. Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. Yahweh redeems the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate.
All right, let's go to John chapter 8. Yohanan chapter 8. And we're going to read verses 37 through 47.
Verse 37. I know that you're Abraham's seed, but you seek to kill me, because my word has no place in you.
Because my word has no place in you. See, we can't see eye to eye because we're on a different level of understanding. Now understand now, he's talking to those who are supposedly in the land the most educated in the word. He's dealing with scribes and Pharisees, all the high up individuals. And he said, you can't understand my word. It's not knowledge that blocks you from understanding his word. It is whatever is in your heart. Go ahead.
I speak that which I have seen with my father, and you do that which you have seen with your father.
Wait a minute. You do that which you have seen with your father. Wait a minute. You have witnessed some things and they have brought forth images unto you. You have an image of what you think is true. You have an image of what you think love is. You have images of that. Where did you get it from? Go ahead.
They answered and said unto him, Abraham's our father. Yahshua says unto them, if you were Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham.
Wait a minute. You can't just say that this is your father. Your works have to manifest that this is your father. Anybody can say, I love you. What happens after that? Are there actions that display the very love that we utter out of our lips? Go ahead.
But now you seek to kill me, a man that has told you the truth.
Right. That's what the truth gets you. And either they kill you physically or they kill you from their presence. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear no more about the Sabbath. Don't come to me talking about the Sabbath. You know what? You dead to me. You're telling me about the Lord bless every day. Every day. And every day is holy. Well, why don't y'all worship on Monday? I just don't want to. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. All right. Right. But you say every day is holy though, right? Right. Go ahead.
Which I heard of Elohim. This did not Abraham. You do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one father, even Elohim. Yahshua said unto them, if Elohim were your father, you would love me.
Right. We would be on one accord if Elohim were your father. See, his children on one accord. You would be able to hear the words that proceed out of our mouth, and we would be on one accord. Go ahead.
For I proceeded forth and came from Elohim. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word.
Why can't you understand my speech? Why is this sounding different to you? Oh, we got a different direction then. If these words are confusing unto you, you have another leader. See, these words proceed from my Father. If they are difficult for you to understand, then you're not one of his kids. And I apologize for talking to you if you're not one of his kids. I didn't mean to talk to you. I apologize. Get the hell on. Because I don't mean to talk to any of Lucifer's kids. It was accidental. Go ahead.
You are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do.
Wait a minute. Yahshua standing in controversy. See, while they want to talk about how much he loved everybody, wait a minute. He's standing off in controversy right now. He ain't sitting there trying to make everybody feel good. Wait a minute now. You of your father the devil. Now, you can't be the squeamish type if you're going to stand in controversy. Then maybe you need to see if you can apply for that job between those two trees in the back. Because you ain't going to be able to do that one right there. Because you got to stand in it. See, the first time, what do? We said, man, I smell something. Man, we done stepped in it. Man, first thing we do is try to get it off your shoe. You know what Yahweh wants you to do? Don't stand in it. Yahweh, but it smells. I know, step deeper in it. But Yahweh, it smells. And I got lines in the bottom of my shoe. Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there's no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks of his own. For he is a liar and the father of it.
Right. So then, what makes us attracted to a liar? See, you got to find, you can't just fix stepping away from the liar. You got to find what that is in you that attracted you to the liar in the first place. That way you can make sure that it never happens again. Go ahead.
And because I tell you the truth, you believe me not. Which of you convinced me of sin? And if I say the truth, why do you not believe me? He that is of Elohim hears Elohim's words.
He that is of Elohim can hear Elohim's voice, no matter who's speaking. They didn't hear it because I said it. They didn't hear it because he read it. They knew Elohim's voice. The word did something to them. They're like, man, I don't know what that is. I don't know how to explain it, but it makes me want to research something. I want to look. What was that? Okay. They heard the voice of their father. They didn't hear the voice of the man that was reading. Ain't because he read eloquently. Now, my brother is from a different part of the island. All right? Go ahead, bro.
He that is of Elohim hears Elohim's words. You therefore hear them not, because you're not of Elohim.
All right. He that is of Elohim hears Elohim's words. You therefore hear them not, because you are not of Elohim. Now understand, there's going to be bits and pieces of things that we can't hear right away. It doesn't mean that you're not a son or daughter of Elohim. It means the lust of whatever is inside of you is trying to fight Elohim's instructions. This is why you'll miss bits and pieces. You'll be able to hear this part of the word, but this part of the word, all of a sudden you can't hear it. You'll be able to tell what this is, but over here, sorry about that, brother. I'm hurt. If I hurt you, it's okay. But this part over here, you know what I'm saying? You can take it. But this part, it won't come to you as easy. What's happening? That spirit that's inside us is fighting those bits and pieces. And we got to double down and say, no. You don't get to have no part of me. You don't get to have no part of me. If you have shown me something to make me look at something as if it was one thing, but it was really something else, I got to fix that. Just like that when I bought the gold chain at Quick Trip. All right. I had to go back inside. Don't laugh. I ain't the only brother that bought a gold chain at Quick Trip that turned out to be fool's gold. Look here. Look, to fix that, I had to find out what made me want to buy the Quick Trip gold chain. Because if I don't go and deal with that, you know what? I'm just going to go buy another chain, but I'm going to buy that Valero. It's going to be the same chain. I'm just going to do it in a different place. You got to deal with what got you there. You can't fix something by continually avoiding what caused it. You have a wreck in a car, you get another car. You still didn't fix how you drive. You got another car, but you still don't understand that that little red octagon means stop. Getting a new car didn't help you. You may say, well, I done put that behind me. No, it's in front of you. I'm looking at it. You have another one of those instances because you ain't figured out that you're supposed to stop when you see that. You didn't fix the cause of the issue, then the issue will happen again. Okay, brother, we finish that up?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to Romans chapter 8. I'm gonna put my pen down, guess I swear. I'm gonna put my pen down. It's getting dangerous in here. Romans chapter 8, let's start that at verse 5.
For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh. But they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit.
Well, wait a minute. They still living the same life. They still witnessing the same things, but they are just focused on different things. Thereby, it appears differently unto them. Go ahead.
For to be carnally minded is death. But to be spiritually minded is life and
When you're
peace.
carnally minded, things appear differently. See, those are the parts that we have to get in and attack. What is that carnal part that allows me or helps me see this in that fashion? Go ahead.
Because the carnal mind is enmity against Elohim.
Wait a minute. The carnal mind is an adversary with Elohim. So we're entertaining the very thoughts that are separating us from our Elohim. Go ahead.
For it is not subject to the law of Elohim.
Wait a minute. It ain't subject. Wait a minute. Subject. But I don't need to do that. The law was nailed to the cross. Go ahead.
Neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please Elohim.
So as long as we are in that state of mind, we cannot possibly please our Elohim. So we have to find that little damaged part in our armor and repair it. Go ahead.
But you are not in the flesh, but in the spirit, if so be that the spirit of Elohim dwell in you. Now if any man have not the spirit of Yahshua, he is none of his. And if Yahshua be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the spirit is life because of righteousness. But if the spirit of him that raised up Yahshua from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up the Mashiach from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his spirit that dwells in you.
Wait a minute, then. That means we're going to get some help to fight against those things that have been plaguing us. Those carnal spots in our garment that causes us to become enmity with Elohim. Then we're going to get some help with that. But we got to be head on and deal with it. We can't act like it don't exist. You got on an all-white garment. You done spilled some oil on it. People telling you, hey, man, you know, something on your garment, I ain't going to even look down. What the hell that mean? Well, if I don't see it, it don't exist. Okay. Go ahead.
Therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh, to live after the flesh. For if you live after the flesh, you shall die. But if you through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, you shall live. For as many as are led by the Spirit of Elohim, they are the sons of Elohim.
Wait a minute. But for as many as are led by the Spirit of Elohim, those are the sons of Elohim. Wait a minute, you're going to make some people upset when you start being led by the Spirit. See, all we ever heard about the Spirit is it make you dance, it make you shout, and for some reason, you know, you do it when you hear the song, and then you do it, and it make you say goo gobbler stuff. It gives But wait a minute, when we start dealing with real people led by the Spirit, wait a minute, they made some decisions. They did some things. Yahshua being led by the Spirit turned over some tables. See, if you think that the Spirit gonna lead you to do absolutely nothing but nice things all your life, then you don't understand the Spirit at all. Especially if you're one of those who have been appointed to stand in controversy. That means every time you smell it, you can't pull your foot up. He wants you to squish it around. But Yahweh, it smells. I know, son. I know. Go ahead.
For you have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but you have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of Elohim. And if children, then heirs, heirs of Elohim, and joint heirs with Yahshua, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together.
If you're an heir, if you're going to receive inheritance, then you have to learn how to control the inheritance. Ain't nothing worse than somebody leaving their kid $200,000 and they don't know how to work $20. They're going to be broke in a year and a half. Well, Yahweh gives us an inheritance in this word. Are you going to teach the people in your house how to walk in it? You're going to leave them an inheritance of the word, but you ain't going to teach them how to walk in it? They're going to be spiritually broke in a year and a half. Because the only connection they had to the word was you. So what happened when you gone? You didn't teach them how to walk in their inheritance. You have left them spiritually destitute. Why? You give them their choice if they want to do it. You give them their option. Okay? And that's exactly what they're going to do with your money. Their choice and their option. And all that you have worked hard for going to be gone. Right. There go your choice and options. Congratulations. Go ahead.
You know, Elder, in a lot of these things, if we look at the past, you can tell the fiber that held a family together. When that one individual is gone, then you realize how the family don't come back together anymore.
Gone. One individual. Let Big Mama or Big Daddy go away from here and ain't no more family. Now you just got a bunch of nasty aunties and a bunch of stupid drunk uncles. Why? Because Big Daddy gone. See, with certain things that just didn't happen when Big Daddy was there. It just didn't happen. Certain things didn't happen when Big Mama came around that corner. So what happens when they gone? There's no more structure. You still got people, you still got college educated people, but it won't keep anything together. Why? Because the structure was all in those individuals. And nobody wanted to learn the structure. Nobody wanted to deal with the structure. Let Big Mama and Big Daddy deal with the structure. That way everybody can dislike them. But we want to be liked. And that's why the whole damn thing implodes on us. Go ahead.
Verse 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creature waits for the manifestation of the sons of Elohim. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who has subjected the same in hope.
In other words, the whole earth waiting on you. Go ahead.
Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption in the glorious liberty of the children of Elohim.
Right. All right. Let's go to Matthew chapter 24. So the earth waiting on the sons of Elohim. But those just so happen to be the ones that Yahweh is disciplining. Uh-oh, wait a minute. The earth waiting on you and you getting a whipping. And then you got these other people that just, they way down the street in their spaceship. You know what I'm saying? They're living life good. So ain't nobody paying you no attention. You out getting a whipping. But the earth waiting on you. Matthew 24, and let's start that at verse 1.
And Yahshua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahshua said unto them, See you not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came on to him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of your coming and of the end of the world? And Yahshua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
This is just the beginning of sorrows. And we can clearly see the way that this war has expanded in the so-called Middle East, in the land of Israel, into all of the parts that they call Greater Israel. You have to look at where they done been. This started with some Palestinians, so-called, who got on hand gliders with duct tape and floated in and took many hostages. Now, how the hell they walk all of them across the desert? Did they make them run to get back on the hand glider and glide back out? But because of this, now, they done been in Lebanon, they done been in Iran, they all over the place. Wait a minute. From the people who had makeshift weapons, now you all cross this area now. Right. Go ahead.
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
Now, understand, that part is dealing with us. See, we did the things that we were not supposed to do. The nations came in and invaded. Now we are the ones being offered up everywhere. I looked at a post where these people tried to make sure that they were disconnecting any people of color from Israel or Egypt. And they tried to explain migrations of people. And sometimes you get so caught up in dealing with what's there that you don't consider what's not there. I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me how did Israel get to Germany. So while people trying to explain the migrations around Africa, somebody tell me during that time, how in the hell millions of people get from one, because you're claiming a whole lot amount of the people died. Okay, how in the hell did they get from Israel to Germany in the first place? Explain that migration. Don't try to tell me about migrations of black people and the slaves and where they came from. Tell me how you got way over there. I ain't heard nobody explain that one yet. But if you stay on the topic that they want you to stay on, then you'll never get to that. Go ahead.
And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because lawlessness shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Right. What the love of many shall grow cold because we don't understand what love is. Of course it grew cold. Because you're looking at the public display and you think that's love. That's false. The thing that you don't accept, that is real. That's why the love of many shall grow cold. Because we've been given a false representation. And we'll accept the falseness and reject the real. Go ahead.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
That's why it has to be a pause in between Israel getting kicked out and Israel being returned. Everybody got to have their opportunity. I told you, Yahweh brings a situation. He don't tell you exactly what it is. And he gives everybody an opportunity to choose their side. In that pause, then he comes and utters his judgment. By that time, everybody has made their decision on whether they're going to go left or they're going to go right. Go ahead.
And then shall the end come.
Uh-huh.
When you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Whoso reads, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray you that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Shabbat day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginnings of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
For the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Go ahead.
Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here's the Mashiach, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false messiahs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he's in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning comes out of the east and shines even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together.
For whatsoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Right. To devour on the flesh that is left behind. Let's go to Mark chapter 13. Because as we talk about these wars, there's a part that I want you to deal with right here. Mark chapter 13, read verses 8 and 9.
Mark 13 and verse 8. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in divers places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrow.
Wait a minute. There shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows. Automatically, the war in Ukraine has cut off all type of food supply. America had a 3-day strike on the ports, and the shelves went empty. 3 days. 3 days worth of turmoil, and you couldn't even find toilet paper. If that happens that easily, what happens when it's really real? If a 3-day port strike can take food off of shelves to the point where everybody running in hoarding everything, what happens when that drags out for months on end? And how are the people going to react if this is stretched out? The very things that we got on, that we looking flashy, may be the very thing that makes you a target. Now, all of a sudden, that spaceship ain't going to be the thing to drive. You might should have kept that old Corolla. Because they're going to start following that spaceship, and they say, you know what, I'm robbing everybody who look like they got money. Now, The very things that were a positive have now turned to a negative. What you gonna do? It didn't take but 3 days for these folk to lose their mind. What's gonna happen when that's 3 months? Are we even considering that? Right. Go ahead, brother, finish that.
But take heed to yourselves, for they shall deliver you up to the councils, and in the synagogues you shall be beaten, and you shall be brought before rulers and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them.
A testimony against them, not a testimony against you. Now they bringing you into judgment for a testimony against themselves. Pay attention. And see, and if you don't think this thing is real, go right up the street and look at these folks who own the gas station. Look at the parking lot. Now, that dude owned 3 gas stations. What did he drive? A Camry. Don't get it twisted. The spaceship at home, he know not to drive the spaceship over here. See, everybody, he know not to bring it to where he working. We get a spaceship driver right to the job. And can't figure out why we having problems in the break room. Everybody arguing with you. Why they got it? Because they saw that spaceship outside. You better learn to get that damn hoopty and drive that damn hoopty to work. You better learn. You better learn. Because everybody going to hate on you. You better learn. Get your hoopty. Drive that damn hoopty to work. Them folks own 3, 4 gas stations. They making $1 million a pop. They ain't in that. Now, how I know? Because I done went to their house. I know what the hell in the house. I know what they show you. And I know what I saw because they couldn't hide it from me. Because I was in there. And it ain't just that one. All of them are told to do it. Everybody know how to play the game except us. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 4.
Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 1. If you will return, O Israel, says Yahweh, return unto me. And if you will put away your abominations out of my sight, then shall you not remove.
Right. I'm giving you an opportunity, Israel, for these things not to come upon you. So now we're talking about a much bigger controversy. We're not talking about a personal controversy. We're talking about nation controversy, a controversy with the entire land. Now that's a whole different type of job now. Now you're talking to the people who have been made comfortable by all the items that they have received, and you're trying to get them to listen to you. Oh, it's hard to get Israel to listen when we got everything going on. Go ahead.
And you shall swear, Yahweh lives, in truth, in judgment, and in righteousness. And the nations shall bless themselves in him, and in him shall they glory. For thus says Yahweh to the men of Yehuda and Jerusalem, break up your fallow ground, and sow not among thorns.
Well, why would you plant among thorns? Why would you plant among thorns? See, we think, you see, God has blessed me to be right here in the trap house to deliver the word. You not. Man, you planting among thorns. How in the hell something gonna grow in there? Go ahead.
Circumcise yourselves to Yahweh, and take away the foreskins of your heart, you men of Yehuda and inhabitants of Jerusalem, lest my fury come forth like fire, and burn that none can quench it, because of the evil of your doings. Declare you in Yehuda, and publish in Jerusalem, and say, blow you the trumpet in the land, cry, gather together, and say, assemble yourselves, and let us go into the defense cities. Set up the standard toward Zion, retire, stay not, for I'll bring evil from the north and a great destruction. The lion has come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He's gone forth from his place to make your land desolate, and your cities shall be laid waste without an inhabitant.
I don't understand what Israel thought. If Yahweh destroyed the land before you got in it because of the wickedness of the people, but then arrogance, once we receive something, makes us believe that somehow we can do the same thing and not have the same result. Go ahead.
For this gird you with sackcloth, lament and howl. For the fierce anger of Yahweh is not turned back from us. And it shall come to pass at that day, says Yahweh, that the heart of the king shall perish, and the heart of the princes, and the priests shall be astonished, and the prophets shall wonder. Then said I, Ah, Adnaiah, surely you have greatly deceived this people and Jerusalem, saying, You shall have peace, whereas the sword reaches onto the soul. At that time shall it be said to this people and to Jerusalem, A dry wind of the high places in the wilderness toward the daughter of my people, not to fan, nor to cleanse. Even a full wind from those places shall come unto me. Now also will I give sentence against them. Behold, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariots shall be as a whirlwind. His horses are swifter than eagles. Woe unto us, for we are spoiled. O Jerusalem, wash your heart from wickedness.
How you wash your heart? I mean, I know I wash my pants. I know I wash my shirt. How you wash your heart? Now, when you get ready to get that process going of heart washing, understand some real bad stuff gonna come out of there. You got to get ready. If you're gonna wash your heart, you got to get ready because it's some stains in there that you don't know. They in there. There's some stains in there real deep. See, when you get into heart washing, sometimes some real ugly stuff come out. Be ready when you take on that job. Go ahead, bro.
That you may be saved. How long shall your vain thoughts lodge within you? For a voice declares from Dan and publish affliction from Mount Ephraim. Make you mention to the nations, behold, publish against Jerusalem, that watchers come from a far country, and give out their voice against the cities of Yehudah. As keepers of a field are they against her round about, because she has been rebellious against me, says Yahweh. Your way and your doings have procured these things onto you.
Your way and your doings have brought these actions upon you. You made this happen. Ain't no woe is me. Ain't no situation where somebody done snuck up on you, done something wrong unto you. I was in all righteousness and I looked up and evil came. I was just reading a song. Right. Go ahead.
This is your wickedness, because it is bitter, because it reaches onto your heart. My bowels, I am pained at my very heart. My heart makes a noise in me. I cannot hold my peace, because you have heard, O my soul, the sound of the trumpet, the alarm of war.
And hold on for a second. It says 18. Your way and your doings have procured these things unto you. This is your wickedness, because it is bitter, because it reaches unto your heart. When there's bitterness of the heart, wait a minute. He just said, wash your heart. Something has reached into it, and when it gets bitterness in it, how you going to be able to deal with any of those things? Because as soon as those things get ready to be dealt with, the bitterness kicks in. You know, this is why some of us can't take medicine. You're like, oh my goodness, that tastes nasty. Well, it's not candy. It's medicine. And see, this is another trick of the nations, because they've changed all the medicine and put a whole bunch of sugars and a whole lot of things in it. So now when people get ready to take real medicine, they don't want it no more. It used to be that all the medicine was bitter. My grandmama used to give me some god-awful stuff, but she had a plan, and she knew the plan. She already had the spoon full. She never asked me anything. It was always a surprise. She's sitting over there waiting. And she just, and I'm talking about, boy, she waiting. And she'd like to catch you with your mouth wide open. Like, oh yeah, he laughing. Hey boy, yeah. Done deal. Grab your chin, push it up. You go, there it is. Medicine done. And it's over just like this. But now you got this new generation, baby, I want to give you some medicine. No, they're taking too damn long. It's taking too damn long. My grandmother had a problem. Why? She didn't ask me no damn question. When I turned around, it was a spoonful of stuff shoved in my mouth. Now, some of it went all down in here. That's all right, you got enough, baby, you got enough. Because I had overfilled it, you see. Say, grandmama know you was an idiot. See, so grandmama gave you some extra. I already counted for that stuff that was going to run down the side. Now it take 30 minutes and you still don't get no kid no medicine. Because we trying to make sure that the kid approves of the medicine. And how did they make this difficult? By making all of it sweet. Mm-hmm. There's certain things that we think are good and they are evil. Go ahead, Bree.
What is it that Mary Poppins convinced us with all that nonsense about a spoonful of sugar to make the medicine go down?
Hey, bro, we've bought that. And you look at anything that they put on the market, they just put a whole bunch of sugar in everything. Go ahead.
Destruction upon destruction is cried, for the whole land is spoiled. Suddenly are my tents spoiled, and my curtains in a moment. How long shall I see the standard, and hear the sound of the trumpet? For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They're sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
They wise to do evil, but can't figure out how to do good. Now that's a problem right there. Go ahead.
I beheld the earth, and lo, it was without form and void, and the heavens, and they had no light. I beheld the mountains, and lo, they trembled, and all the hills moved lightly. I beheld, and lo, there was no man, and all the birds of the heavens were fled. I beheld, and lo, the fruitful place was a wilderness, and all the cities thereof were broken down at the presence of Yahweh and by his fierce anger. For thus has Yahweh said, the whole land shall be desolate, yet will I not make a full end. Mm-hmm. For this shall the earth mourn, and the heavens above be black, because I have spoken it. I have purposed it, and will not repent, neither will I turn back from it. The whole city shall flee for the noise of the horsemen and bowmen. They shall go into thickets and climb up upon the rocks. Every city shall be forsaken, and not a man dwell therein.
And here's the thing. Yahweh had already pleaded with us, please turn back to the instructions that I gave you. Please turn back to the former love that we had with one another. Please turn back. We thought that he was just going to keep sitting there saying please forever. No. His grace, period, ended. And after that, it was no more discussion. Now, he about to clean out his house. And he going to get you and everything of yours out of it. Go ahead.
And when you are spoiled, what will you do? Though you clothe yourself with crimson, though you decketh yourself with ornaments of gold, though you renteth your face with painting.
Mm-hmm. You put no makeup. Put no makeup, who you getting pretty for? Go ahead.
In vain shall you make yourself fair.
Uh-huh.
Your lovers will despise you. They will seek your life.
The same ones you making yourself pretty for is the same ones that's going to despise you. See, when Yahweh utters his judgment, he said, you know what, you can go on out there and go ahead and do whatever it is you think you're going to do. I'm going to make every last bit of it fall to the ground. And that ain't just on the women's side of things. It's us too. Brothers will go out there, done worked out, stayed in the gym. They be like, I'm getting swole, right? And that who you getting swole for, they gonna hate you too. What you doing all that for? You ain't deal right with Yahweh, everything you deal with is gonna fall to the ground. You can think, I'll leave this situation and get a better situation. That better situation going to turn worse than the situation you had before. Why? Because you ain't do right by Yahweh. Go ahead.
For I've heard a voice as of a woman in travail, and the anguish as of her that brings forth her first child, the voice of the daughters of Zion, that bewails herself, that spreads her hands, saying, Woe is me now, for my soul is wearied because of murderers.
All right, go to chapter 6 and start at verse 1.
O you children of Benjamin, gather yourselves to flee out of the midst of Jerusalem, and blow the trumpet in Tekoa, and set up a sign of fire in Beth Hasarim. For evil appears out of the north, and great destruction.
All right, so if evil appears out of the north, how do they run northward? Would you run at the army or from it?
From.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out some things here. Go ahead.
I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. The shepherds with their flocks shall come unto her. They shall pitch their tents against her round about. They shall feed everyone in his place. Prepare you war against her. Arise, and let us go up at noon. Woe unto us, for the day goes away, for the shadows of the evening are stretched out. Arise, and let us go by night, and let us destroy her palaces. For thus has Yahweh of hosts said, Hew you down trees, and cast a mount against Jerusalem. This is the city to be visited. She is holy oppression in the midst of her. As a fountain cast out her waters, so she cast out her wickedness. Violence and spoil is heard in her. Before me continually is grief and wounds. Be you instructed, O Jerusalem, lest my soul depart from you, lest I make you desolate, a land not inhabited. Thus says Yahweh of hosts, they shall thoroughly glean the remnant of Israel as a vine. Turn back your hand as a grape gatherer into the baskets.
Verse 8 says, Be you instructed, O Jerusalem, lest my soul depart from you. Receive instruction or receive the separation. Which one you want to do? Go ahead.
To whom shall I speak and give warning, that they may hear? Behold, their ear is uncircumcised, and they cannot hearken. Behold, the word of Yahweh is unto them a reproach. They have no delight in it. Therefore, I am full of the fury of Yahweh. I am weary with holding in. I will pour it out upon the children abroad, and upon the assembly of young men together. For even the husband with the wife shall be taken, the age with him that is full of days. And their houses shall be turned unto others.
Their houses shall be turned unto others. Go ahead.
With their fields and wives together.
Wait a minute. Yahweh had already given you land that other people had tilled and houses that other people had built. What did you think your judgment was going to be? What did you think it was going to be? It is amazing how we look up when something goes down and then we're confused. Wait a minute. Ain't that how you got it? So what did you think the punishment was going to be when you decided not to walk in the rules that he gave you? How are you confused? Go ahead.
For I'll stretch out my hand upon the inhabitants of the land, says Yahweh. For from the least of them, even unto the greatest of them, everyone is given to covetousness. And from the prophet even unto the priest, everyone deals falsely. They have healed also the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, saying, Peace, peace, when there is no peace. Were they ashamed when they had committed abomination? No, they were not at all ashamed, neither could they blush. Therefore they shall fall among them that fall. At the time that I visit them, they shall be cast down, says Yahweh. Thus says Yahweh, stand you in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way? And walk therein, and you shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. Also I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not hearken.
Also, I've set watchmen over you. These are men to warn you. What we do? Argue with the people who warn us? Go ahead.
Therefore hear, you nations, and know, O congregation, what is among them. Hear, O earth, behold, I'll bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts.
Wait, whoa. Hold on. Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts? What? Okay, now we back to intentions again. We don't think this word real. Go ahead.
But didn't he say we'll be judged for even our very thoughts?
He said every idle word, right? Okay. We thought it before we said it. And there's certain things we thought we still didn't say. The angel said, why Sarah laughed? She said, I ain't laugh. He said, but you did laugh. She ain't laugh out loud. Okay. Clear?
Because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor to my law, but rejected it. To what purpose cometh there to me incense from Sheba, and the sweet came from a far country? Your burnt offerings are not acceptable, nor your sacrifices sweet unto me. Therefore thus says Yahweh, behold, I'll lay stumbling blocks before this people, and the fathers and the sons together shall fall upon them. The neighbors and his friends shall perish. Thus says Yahweh, behold, a people cometh from the north country, and a great nation shall be raised from the sides of the earth. They shall lay hold on bow and spear. They are cruel and have no mercy.
They are cruel and have no mercy. Well, in other words, Yahweh gave them the switch, put the switch in their hand, and said, that's them right there. There they go. They're them my people who have decided that they ain't going to listen to me. Now do what you cruel and angry people do. Just make sure you do it to them. Go ahead.
Their voice roars like the sea, and they ride upon horses, set in array as men for war against you, O daughter of Zion. We have heard the fame thereof, our hands wax feeble. Anguish has taken hold of us, and pain as of a woman in travail. Go not forth into the field, nor walk by the way, for the sword of the enemy and fear is on every side. O daughter of my people, gird you with sackcloth, and wallow yourself in ashes. Make you mourning, as for an only son, most bitter lamentation, for the spoiler shall suddenly come upon us. I have set you for a tower and a fortress among my people, that you may know and try their way. They are all grievous revolters, walking with slanders. They are brass and iron, they are all corrupters. The bellows are burnt, the lead is consumed of the fire, the founder melts in vain, for the wicked are not plucked away. Reprobate silver shall men call them, because Yahweh has rejected them.
All right, now let's go to Habakkuk chapter 1. We have an opportunity to heed unto the words that is given unto us, but do we even respect the words? Because understand, Yahweh is not getting off his throne physically to come down to your house and talk to you. Will you even recognize when Yahweh is giving you direction? If it comes from a man, if it comes as a thought, will you recognize the voice of your Elohim? And we're going to read verses 1 through 11.
The burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see. O Yahweh, how long shall I cry, and you will not hear? Even cry out unto you of violence, and you will not save. Why does you show me lawlessness, and cause me to behold grievance? For spoiling and violence are before me, and there are that raise up strife and contention. Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment does never go forth. For the wicked does compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceeds.
Therefore wrong judgment proceeds. So then people are then getting a warped view of what righteous is. You understand? So now we're calling evil good and good evil. Because people are watching this as this wrong judgment, and they're taking that as, okay, that's how you deal with that. No, it's not. Go ahead.
Behold you among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days which you will not believe, though it be told you. For, lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation.
Wait a minute. Now you have a cruel and angry, and then he said, I'm going to give you bitter and hasty. When all you had to do was abide by the rules of the house. And you can keep living there. Go ahead.
We shall march through the breadth of the land to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs.
To possess the dwelling places that are not theirs. Wait a minute. He said, I'm bringing these people in here, they're going to take your house. Because you refuse to listen to me. Go ahead.
They are terrible and dreadful. Their judgment and their dignity shall proceed of themselves. Their horses also are swifter than the leopards, and are more fierce than the evening wolves. And their horsemen shall spread themselves, and their horsemen shall come from far. They shall fly as the eagle that hastes to eat. They shall come all for violence. Their faces shall come up as the east wind, and they shall gather the captivity as the sand. And they shall scoff at the kings, and their princes shall be a scorn unto them. They shall deride every stronghold, for they shall heap dust and take it. Then shall his mind change, and he shall pass over and offend, imputing this his power unto his God.
All right, let's go to Ezekiel chapter 7. Ezekiel chapter 7. And we're going to read verses 14 through 27.
Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 14. They have blown the trumpet, even to make all ready, but none goes to the battle.
Now, wait. If they've blown the trumpet and none goes to the battle, it has been said, I ain't listening to Yahweh. The trumpet represents the voice of Yahweh. When the trumpet blows, we move. It says the trumpet is blown and they ain't moved. They say, I ain't listening to Yahweh. Go ahead.
For my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. But they that escape of them shall escape, and shall be on the mountains like doves of the valleys, all of them mourning, every one for his lawlessness. All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water.
Now, when all of this goes down and the weight is on Israel collectively, now Israel wishes they had stood in controversy. See, we get into those points where, you know what, I don't want to get in nothing that ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't want to do, you know, I don't want to be involved. Well, wait a minute. Righteousness or wickedness envelops the whole house. You can't say, you know what, I'm that's my bedroom right there. It's gonna be righteousness in that room. Now, if that don't room you got in the house, then that's fine. But if the other rooms in there is part of your control, then you have some problem. Because when he brings judgment, he gonna bring it collectively. So it's going to be very, very difficult for him to just deal with judgment in that room. No. Didn't you know this was going on in the house where you reside? So how was you okay with it? Well, the judgment may start in that room, but it's going to spread on out here. Because you knew it. Now, if you ain't got no control over that, then that ain't your call. You cannot be held responsible for things that you don't have power over. Go ahead.
They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and sorrow shall cover them. And shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Yahweh. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowls, because it is the stumbling block of their lawlessness. As for the beauty of his ornament, he set it in majesty, but they made the images of their abominations and of their detestable things therein. Therefore have I set it far from them. And I will give it unto the hands of the strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil, and they shall pollute it.
Wait a minute. Yahweh, I will give it into the hands of the strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil. Why are we confused? Go ahead.
My face will I turn also from them, and they shall pollute my secret place. For the robbers shall enter into it and defile it. Make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes.
Right. And when we allow those things, remember that ill shed blood defiles the land, not the spot. And because we wanted to be neutral and not deal with things, that same wickedness spread all amongst the entire land, and now everybody get evicted. Go ahead.
And the city is full of violence. Wherefore I'll bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses.
There we go.
I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease, and their holy places shall be defiled. Destruction comes, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest, and counsel from the ancients. The king shall mourn, and the prince shall be clothed with desolation, and the hands of the people of the land shall be troubled. I will do unto them after their way, and according to their deserts will I judge them, and they shall know that I am Yahweh.
They shall know that I am Yahweh. Let us hear the conclusion of this matter. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 10. And we're going to read verses 11 through 25.
Verse 11. Thus shall you say unto them, the gods that have not made the heavens and the earth, even they shall perish from the earth and from under these heavens. He has made the earth by his power. He has established the world by his wisdom, and has stretched out the heavens by his discretion. When he utters his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he caused the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He makes lightnings with rain, and brings forth the wind out of his treasures.
Right. One of the things that we were a few brothers was looking at in the post was how the hurricanes travel the path of the slave ships. You know, I would look at the thing and then say, yeah, it looked like it developed in Africa and then come over this way. It's funny because you don't see it tapping in Africa. It just come from that way. That was hella interesting, you know, when you put it all out there. Go ahead.
Every man is brutish in his own knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity and the work of errors. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Yahweh of hosts is his name.
Wait a minute. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Wait a minute. If Israel is his child and he disciplines his child, he then has to discipline this child and make sure the child is educated about the inheritance that they're going to receive. Go ahead.
Gather up your wares out of the land, O inhabitant of the fortress. For thus says Yahweh, behold, I will sling out the inhabitants of the land at this once, and will distress them, that they may find it so. Woe is me for my hurt. My wound is grievous. But I said, truly this is a grief, and I must bear it.
I must bear it. Go ahead.
My tabernacle is spoiled, and all my cords are broken. My children are gone forth of me, and they are not. There is none to stretch forth my tent any more, and to set up my curtains. For the pastors are become brutish, and have not sought Yahweh. Therefore they shall not prosper, and all their flocks shall be scattered. Behold, the noise of the brute is come, and a great commotion out of the north country, to make the cities of Yehudah desolate, and a den of dragons. O Yahweh, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walks to direct his steps. O Yahweh, correct me, but with judgment, not in your anger.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Yahweh, correct me, but with judgment, not in your anger. What if we don't accept the correctment? The correcting, does it then turn into anger? Because we didn't accept it when it was given unto us? Oh, Yahweh, correct me, but with judgment, not in your anger. Least you bring me to nothing. Wait a minute. When there's power and you agitate that power, now that power has the ability to devour. But who agitated the power? When it was brought to you, did you accept it? Or did you fight against it? Well, then you agitated the power. What you did was take some wood and threw it into the fire. Wait a minute. What does he show it with? Fire and a pillar of smoke. You threw a log in it and then got surprised when the fire went. Why are you surprised? Did you not understand that when you kicked back at it that you was feeding it? Did you not understand that? Why are you surprised at the outcome? You don't throw a log on a fire and then get surprised that the fire got larger. Go ahead.
Pour out your fury upon the heavens that know you not. Pour out your fury upon the heathen, that know you not, and upon the families that call not on your name. For they have eaten up Jacob and devoured him, and consumed him, and have made his habitation desolate.
And those are the things that Israel has to deal with for the time being. But if Israel turns back unto Yahweh, then Yahweh is going to reverse all of those things. And if it has been decreed by him, he's going to make us turn back. And everybody who decides that they're not, as it is written, they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. So if he can't get you to turn, he going to turn away from you. That's all that we're going to do for today. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.